The following is a presentation of Godaway Sports.
Welcome, ladies and gentlemen. We are live here in Burton at Berkshire High School. And we got a huge CVC showdown. This is round two between the Berkshire Lady Badgers and the Chagrin Falls Tigers on Godaway Sports. Good evening, everybody. My name is Noah Ricks, alongside our cameraman, Donald Van Horn, ready for some more basketball action here, and actually our first basketball broadcast with the Berkshire Lady Badgers, as we are about the halfway point through the season. Currently 10-3 right now, with a 5-1 mark in the CVC Valley tier. That is the Chagrin Valley Conference. So this is going to be a huge test for bragging rights, also to hold on to that number one seed, to avoid a tie potentially with Crestwood coming in on the horizon. But as for the CVC Chagrin Falls Tigers, they are in the second place in the CVC Chagrin tier, as they are currently 3-2. They have a 7-6 mark right now, and this is just round two of a two-game season series. Chagrin Falls won the first meeting back on December 9th, 34-31. The Lady Tigers are led by their junior Avery Russell with her 19 2 points a game, as well as their junior Abby Kay, who averages 3.4 steals a game and 4.3 assists per game. But Berkshire has some girls of their own. Coach Dave Albert in his second year being led by the likes of girls like Ivy Martin. Ivy Martin is a junior for the Lady Badgers who just passed 200 career assists, and she is well on the mark to break a school record next season. In her senior year, the school record is 280, as she is in the top 5 in school history right now. So Ivy Martin really knows how to pass the ball. She has been doing it ever since she was a freshman. She just really loves to do the unselfish passing and the good ball handling. That's what you got to do in order to get those assists. So Ivy Martin, a key player to look out for the Lady Badgers tonight, but also Blythe Boers, the junior guard, number 12. She had a very nice game the other night at Kirtland in their 64-42 victory. Blythe Boers had a 20-plus point game. So we expect to see more of the same with Blythe Boers, and got to consider that Berkshire is almost at half of the number of girls from what they were just 2 years ago when they made it to the district semifinals. They are only at 12 girls right now. They had 23 girls on the roster 2 years ago, so they are continuing to win despite the huge drop in numbers to almost cut in half. So that is a key testament to just the finding a way to win here at Berkshire and Chagrin Falls. 7-6 right now. They only have about 9 girls on the roster right now, so only 21 players combined. So yes, that is going to be your key, your key aspect to the game here tonight. It's not really much players coming in off the bench, so most of these girls most likely going to have to play a full 32 minutes of basketball. That's what you got to do when you are a short-handed team. So Chagrin Falls with 9 players and Berkshire with 12 players. So it's going to be an interesting sight to see. We are about 9.5 minutes away from the starting lineups and the tip-off. Glad to have you with us for what should be a huge CVC game. This is more than likely the CVC game of the week from what I'm hearing right now. You got the pep band here for Berkshire, and kind of unusual that you are seeing a girls' game on a Friday night. But nevertheless, this is for bragging rights in the CVC. So it is Berkshire and Chagrin Falls. We'll be back here after this short message. You are watching Godaway Sports.
Godaway Sports is Northeast Ohio's new home for high school athletics. If you are interested in advertising with a company who is dedicated to covering our communities around the clock, then we encourage you to scan the QR code on screen or follow the link below to get your feet in on the ground floor and become a partner with Godaway. Godaway Sports, we got away.
So we're back here and about ready to do battle. About 8 minutes left on this tip-off clock. So the Berkshire Lady Badgers, as we've been talking about throughout this pregame show, finding ways to win at 10-3. You gotta see these Badgers, they are hungry and ready to prove people wrong in the CVC. They're looking to win their first conference title in 3 years. Last time they won the CVC was in 2023. It would be their second title in 4 years if they were to end up winning the CVC. So this is at stake here tonight. And what is more than likely to be a must-win game. Badgers currently riding a two-game winning streak, after their 20-point loss back to Chardon back on December 30th. They beat Grand Valley by 1, and they beat Kirtland by 22 this past Wednesday night. And this is a season that has been just really described by what was a 5-game winning streak between December 12th and December 27th, with wins at Wycliffe, at Rootstown, against Crestwood, against Edgewood, and against Middlefield Cardinal. So you see these girls looking for ways to continue to win, and hopefully they want to get payback on the Lady Tigers from that game back on December 9th. But let's take a look at Chagrin Falls' schedule real quick. So they have won 2 of their last 3 games. A win against Lake Catholic on December 23rd, 31-23. That is Benner Lake Catholic. And a win against Bay Village Bay, 37-33 back on December 27th. And a victory this past Wednesday night against Crestwood by a score of 33-30. A huge CVC win for the Lady Tigers with just the 9 girls on their roster. And these girls have stats that can really open things up. Avery Russell, as mentioned, with her 19.2 points a game for Chagrin Falls. Gabby Byrne with 9 points a game. And Avery Russell leading the field goal percentage category with 46%. Abby Kay leading in the steals and assists. In the free throws, 69 percentage for Avery Russell. And a 34 percentage from downtown from Avery Russell with 249 points. 249 points. Avery Russell, a junior, only a junior. No seniors actually on this 9-girl roster. A majority of them freshmen. Am I reading this right? It's actually 10 girls on the roster, not 9, for Chagrin Falls. So 6 of the 10 girls for Chagrin Falls are freshmen. So that is more than half of their team. 60% of the team. They're just young freshmen in their first year. And no seniors, so you're going to have to definitely find a way to get some leadership throughout the second half of the season. Berkshire have only 2 seniors on their roster as well. Julia Young, number 11, and Mallory Durasco, number 33, are on the official roster. So this is a battle between CVC contenders, but also very young teams. very young teams looking to develop, looking to mature, and just get through the second half of the season and hopefully make a huge district run in their respective districts. But we are just under 4 minutes away from this tip-off. I've heard it should be a good game tonight. More than likely, you are going to get a good game tonight here on Godaway Sports. Couldn't have picked a better game to broadcast, as these two CBC schools, not necessarily intercounty schools, as Chagrin Falls is located just inside Cuyahoga County, and we are in the heart of Geauga County right now, actually in the heart of the snow belt. But you see these two schools very familiar with one another and looking to just find another win on their schedules. And Chagrin Falls going for the sweep. Berkshire going for a split. Let's take some time to recognize the pep band for Berkshire. More than likely, they're going to be doing our national anthem. And you can't necessarily hear anything right now coming from the band because we are in an enclosed glass room. But very decent sized band for Berkshire. You got 2 sousaphones, you got 4 trombones, and you got a huge percussion line. That is probably the bulk of this band. Oh, with small school basketball, you always love to have that kind of like energy. You love to have that kind of pep band that could really make or break this game for the visiting team. So Chagrin Falls definitely going to have to find a way just to drown out the noise from that pep band. And the Lady Badgers looking to use this pep band to their advantage. So that's kind of like the special part about high school and college basketball is the pep band, so you just really get that energy flowing with stand tunes and just a lot of electricity. Looks like both coaches meeting up with the officials. Berkshire Lady Badgers, led by Dave Albert in his second year at the helm, and the Chagrin Falls Lady Tigers, led by Brittany Lysiak. So who's ready for some high school basketball? Who's ready to witness a CBC game of the week? Coach Albert fist bumping his girls in his second season with a record of 27-10. 27-10, a very decent record. They lost in their tournament game against Tuslaw 56-30 last year. That ended their season, looking to go even farther this time in their respective districts. So off we go with the national anthem and the starting lineups. About ready to do battle here on Godaway Sports. And we just want to remind you that this broadcast is copyrighted by Godaway Broadcasting Company, LLC, for the private use of our audience. Any use of this broadcast or any pictures, descriptions, or other accounts of the game without Godaway Broadcasting Company's consent is prohibited. So, Berkshire Lady Badgers meeting up at center court. And the Lady Tigers send number 1, Olivia Cruzy, the sophomore, 6 foot, at the circle. Number 23, Stella Bateman, at the circle for Berkshire. And we are about ready to get underway, and the Lady Badgers control the opening tip as number 33, Mallory DeRosco, misses a layup, and trying to put it up was number 3, Ivy Martin, and take it here by number 3, Avery Russell. Avery Russell averaging just under 20 points a game for the Chagrin Falls Lady Tigers, and they will get their first possession as we start this first quarter of action about 20 seconds in. Glad to have you with us here on Godaway Sports at the left wing. They try to get it off here. And the pass back to Olivia Cruzy. At the right wing now, number 4, Ivy Levy, a sophomore. Scoops it off to Russell. Some good ball movement here by the Lady Tigers, and missing the layup there was Cruzy. And taken back by number 2, Abby Kay, who puts up a shot and misses. And taken here by Julia Young, the senior. Looks like we will get a call going back here to the Lady Badgers out of bounds. So just over a minute gone by here in this opening quarter. Noah Ricks here, your play-by-play announcer from Burton. Feed it inside of Stella Bateman. Back to Mallory DeRosco. DeRosco kicks it outside of Blythe Boers. Blythe Boers puts up her shot too far out and taken by Abby Kay. Flings it off to Russell. Now to Cruzy. Cruzy puts it in on a nice little hook shot. And it is 2-0 at Chagrin Falls as they get on the board in the first 90 seconds of action. And avoiding the travel there was Blythe Boers, but she has the pick of the pocket there by Abby Kay. Abby Kay back outside. and she avoids the travel and too low of a layup for Levy. But Chagrin Falls gets another crack at the basketball. It's now number 3, Avery Russell. Russell stepping back, fires a 3, and hits. Avery Russell draining it from downtown, and a leading scorer for the Tigers makes it 5-0 6 minutes ago here in this opening quarter. We'll be back after this on Godaway Sports.
Godaway Sports is Northeast Ohio's new home for high school athletics. If you are interested in advertising with a company who is dedicated to covering our communities around the clock, then we encourage you to scan the QR code on screen or follow the link below to get your feet in on the ground floor and become a partner with Godaway. Godaway Sports, we got away.
5-0 as Chagrin Falls with a 2-point bucket by Olivia Cruzy and a 3-point bucket by Avery Russell. Avery Russell just continuing to do what she does best. The leading scorer of the team from downtown. And momentum riding with Chagrin Falls, who just gets another takeaway taken by number 22, Daisy Adelman, the freshman. A lot of freshmen on this Chagrin Falls team. And now number 4, Ivy Levy. Spinning around, trying to get back outside. She does to Abby Kay. Kay at the elbow and now flings it to the top of the key. Now gets it inside to Avery Russell, trying to beat them back door, and she can't finish. Looks like we are going to get a holding foul here, and appears to be on Berkshire. So the foul will be on number 11, Julia Young, her first foul. We get a substitution here as they inbound the basketball. Foul was on the floor. Just under 3 minutes gone by here in the opening quarter. Levy gets it back outside. A lot of good ball movement outside the wings. Now they get it to Levy. Levy thinking about the 3, and now faking the 3 there is Abby Kay. Back to Levy again. Faking, she steps back. The Tigers with an early 5-0 lead, trying to beat them backdoors. Levy, and she gets the 2. So Ivy Levy makes it 7-0 Chagrin Falls. And it looks like we are going to get appears to be, looks like it's a foul on Abby Kay. That's her first foul. So Abby Kay will be called with that foul. Foul on the floor for the Lady Badgers. Inbounding here is Julia Young to Blythe Boers. Blythe Boers with her 20-plus point game the other night against Kirtland. She flings it off to number 4, Maura Wonders. Out the top, it's Blythe Boers firing and missing again. Once again missing the rim and out of bounds. Going back here to the Lady Tigers. And it looks like they are actually going to flip the call around. It's actually going to stay here on this side of the floor with Berkshire. 4:31 to go in the opening quarter. It is 7-0 Chagrin Falls, the visiting team, and pulling it up for 2 is number 4, Maura Wonders, who gets fouled, and she will head to the line to shoot a pair. That will be the pushing foul here on the Tigers. Number 22, Daisy Adelman, her first. Now, first trip to the line tonight for either team, and Berkshire trying to get on the board here. It is Maura Wonders missing her first foul shot attempt. So a bit of a slow start here for the 10-3 Badgers. Trying to stay on top here in the CVC Valley. Second free throw bounces in. So Berkshire able to get on the board. Took them about 3.5 minutes of action, but they finally get on the board. 7-1, Chagrin Falls leads. And now a good hustle, good breakaway by Abby Kay, but they have to get it back outside. Good defensive close down by the Lady Badgers. Take it out to Cruzy, and Cruzy getting fouled on the put-up. Looks like they're going to call that a hand check, and they're going to head to the line. Looks like that the second foul on Julia Young. So now it's Cruzy missing the first one. And a sub here for the Lady Badgers, number 22, Hayden Tomzik. She's a junior checking in for Berkshire. And that is off the rim, so she misses both foul shots. Taken here by number 3, Ivy Martin. Ivy Martin. It's the pass off to Blythe Boers. Blythe Boers fires and missing off the rim, too strong. And the Lady Tigers keep it in play, and Adelman able to grab that there for Chagrin Falls. Good execution here. Here comes a 3 for A.V. Russell off the iron, and last touched out of bounds by the Tigers. Berkshire getting another opportunity. 3:42 to go in the first quarter. We are halfway through this opening quarter, as it's Blythe Boers. Well outside the wing, and now gets back into the circle. Gets it outside to Ivy Martin, who fires a 3, misses, and rebound by Chagrin Falls' Abby Kay. Abby Kay, good hustle down the floor again. Kay fires from the elbow and hits. Good shooting here for the Tigers to start off in a 9-1 lead, and the Tigers starting to roar with 3:12 to go in the opening quarter on Godaway Sports.
Godaway Sports is Northeast Ohio's new home for high school athletics. If you are interested in advertising with a company who is dedicated to covering our communities around the clock, then we encourage you to scan the QR code on screen or follow the link below to get your feet in on the ground floor and become a partner with Godaway. Godaway Sports, we got away.
So a 9-1 Chagrin Falls lead, led by their stellar shooting to start things off. 3:12 to go here in the first quarter. And Berkshire, only 1 point in their name so far, and that was off a foul shot by Mora Wonders. They have yet to get a field goal in this game here tonight. And that was last touched by the Tigers, but taken here by the Badgers. And here comes the shot there, missing for number 22, Hayden Tomzik. And Chagrin Falls just really crashing the boards as well. Just playing a well-executed game so far. Now, Abby Kay to Cruzy, back to Kay from the wing, faking it. Back outside to Avery Russell. Good motioning. Playing methodical and disciplined. As Russell at the top of the key, 2.5 to go in the opening quarter. They're well outside. They're around the volleyball line. That is how separated they are from the defense. And Ivy Levy will draw the blocking foul, and she will head to the line. Looks like they're going to call the blocking foul on Mora Wonders. So first foul for Wonders. And Chagrin Falls trying to add on to their 8-point lead. Levy misses the first foul shot. Trying to get it back here. She misses. And 0 of 2 on that trip. Rebound by Mora Wonders, who just picked up that foul a few moments ago. Blythe Boers faking the 3. Blythe Boers trying to step back, trying to get some separation. And now down low, they have to kick it back outside the Boers. And Boers puts it up too short. Tip there, and good hustle by Abby Kay. She grabs the board again. Chagrin Falls. They're in a totally different world right now, and missing the 3 is Ivy Levy from the corner. Here comes number 23 for the Badgers, Stella Bateman. Now at the elbow, it's Wonders outside the Boers. Boers being closed down. Good defense by Cruzy, but it looks like Cruzy getting a little too aggressive there, and she will be called with the foul. Olivia Cruzy, the 6-foot sophomore, will be called with her first personal on the floor. So it looks like Chagrin Falls going into a little bit of a man zone. They have one girl back down low, down in the post, and now she moves up a little bit. But here comes Blythe Boers, and she drains a 2-pointer. A long-range 2-pointer for Blythe Boers makes it 9-3. So Berkshire not out for the count. Not out for the count at all. They finally get their first field goal of the game, and it only took them about 6.5 minutes of action to do so. Now the kick here to Avery Russell. Just over a minute to play first quarter. Stepping back, and now a good screen set by Levy. They find their girl, and off the bank shot is Zoe Thompson, number 10. And double digits here for the Tigers at 11-3. Taking the shot again, but it looks like out of bounds on Hayden Tomzik. So Berkshire just being flustered right now. Trailing by as much as 8 here in this opening quarter. Slowing down the tempo. Chagrin Falls is in their own game. Sophie Agoe, number 14 in the game, a freshman for the Tigers. And here comes this shot too far for Abby Kay. Rebound by Stella Bateman. Now they push down the floor with under 20 ticks to go, and drawing the foul here is Stella Bateman. She will head to the line. Second foul here on Daisy Adelman. Berkshire trying to cut at this deficit with 16.5 seconds to go, opening quarter. It's up and in here for Stella Bateman. So Stella Bateman in the starting lineup here tonight for the Lady Badgers. Also a key asset in volleyball as she misses the second one. Stella Bateman is just a young sophomore coming off the bench for volleyball, but being asked to get some key minutes here on the hardware for basketball. Now 5 seconds to shoot for Chagrin Falls. It is Cruzy. Cruzy puts it up with 1 second to spare, and she misses, and the buzzer sounds before she puts it back up. So, end of one here in Burton. It was a dominant first quarter led by great shooting for the Chagrin Falls Tigers, and they have an 11-3 lead over the Berkshire Lady Badgers heading to the second here on Godaway Sports.
Godaway Sports is Northeast Ohio's new home for high school athletics. If you are interested in advertising with a company who is dedicated to covering our communities around the clock, then we encourage you to scan the QR code on screen or follow the link below to get your feet in on the ground floor and become a partner with Godaway. Godaway Sports, we got away.
This broadcast is copyrighted by Godaway Broadcasting Company, LLC, for the private use for audience, and the use of this broadcast or any pictures, descriptions, or other accounts of the game without Godaway Broadcasting Company's consent is prohibited. So, they were just really splashing it. And great mid-range shots there from the Chagrin Falls Tigers in that first quarter. It looks like it's actually an 11-4 lead, so looks like they did not adjust the scoreboard before that first quarter ended. So an 11-4 lead. And we did not adjust that scoreboard as well. So a little bit of 50-50, but nevertheless. 11-4 lead for the Chagrin Falls Tigers in a huge interconference showdown. There's talk around town that this could be the CVC game of the week. But the Tigers holding on to a 7-point advantage as they are really continuing to get great ball movement. Here comes Avery Russell. Too strong of a three-pointer, but good offensive rebound by Levy. Here comes Olivia Cruzy missing her shot. Taken here by the Badgers. And going down the floor here is Blythe Boers. Scoops it off to Julia Young. Can't get the friendly roll, but Julia Young gets it right back and hits a three. No. So having to hustle back to get it good. Fast hustle there by Abby Cave, but just a little too out of her reach as she stepped out of bounds. She wasn't able to get it back in time, so Berkshire back with the basketball. So this game will only varsity. Changed to varsity only. What was supposed to be a 6:45 start time was pushed up to 6 p.m. And taking the shot here is Blythe Boers, and Blythe Boers missing, and Ivy Martin gets the offensive rebound and the put in. 11-6 as Ivy Martin gets on the board here for the first time tonight. Minute and a half gone by here in the second quarter. Trying to beat them backdoor is Ivy Levy, but taking it is Julia Young. Now Ivy Martin trying to finish in transition. She can't finish. And it's out of bounds. A little miscommunication, the communication breakdown between Stella Bateman and Ivy Martin. And it looks like we are going to get a quick 30-second timeout, so we will stay here on Gadaway Sports with 11:23 to go here in the first half. Did I say 11:23? 6:23 to go here in the first half. So Berkshire just being flustered right now by what seems to be a well-oiled machine here so far by Coach Brittany Lysiak's crew. And this is considering the fact that Chagrin Falls only has 10 girls overall on the roster. That is probably a big factor why this game got moved to varsity only, got moved up to 6 p.m. But they are still a well-oiled machine despite the low numbers. Inbounding there was Sophie Agawi. Now the Tigers back on offense. And a rare takeaway here by number 40, Whitney Davis of the Badgers. And it looks like we're going to get a foul here, if I'm correct, here on Chagrin Falls. Looks like the foul going to be called on Ivy Levy, her first. So now here come the Lady Badgers, trying to chip in at this mini 5-point deficit. Trailing by as much as 8. Missing the shot there is Ivy Martin. She missed the floater. She is underneath and out of bounds. They're going to say it's going to stay here with Berkshire. But you see Whitney Davis in there, number 40, checking in for the first time tonight. A junior for the Lady Badgers. And that line set. Inbounding it here is Julia Young to Whitney Davis. Davis at high post. Now scoops it off to Ivy Martin. Inside to Whitney Davis. Whitney Davis trying to draw a foul. And Shine to keep it in play. No. So Whitney Davis, good hustle. But they're going to say out of bounds here on Berkshire. So Chagrin Falls, and paying attention there for a second was Sophia Goey. I'm going to say his last touched by a Badger, so they move up just a tad bit closer. Here comes Levy to inbound. She gets it into Abby Kay. Levy. Now well outside the volleyball line. Here is number 2, Abby Kay. Let's see if Berkshire can adjust here on defense. Looks like they're a little spread out right now, playing a little zone man. Trying to draw the foul there is Avery Russell, and it looks like a snag for the basketball, fight for the basketball. They're going to call it a jump ball. And the jump ball going to be won here by Berkshire, so they are able to win a possession back on that held ball. Whitney Davis checking out for the Badgers. Good hustle. But she will go back to the bench here for Berkshire. And the Lady Badgers, it's only a 5-point deficit. They're still well within grasp. Just under 5 minutes to go, first half. And it looks like they're going to call that I believe that's a 5-second violation there on a little face guard. So, an offensive violation here on the Lady Badgers, and it gives the ball back here to Chagrin Falls. So Chagrin Falls taking advantage off of key miscues right now. not trailed so far yet here in this first half. The game up on a 7-0 run. Here comes Ivy Levy. That was a little bit of a batted ball. Taken back by Levy. Now to Agoe, who passes it to Avery Russell. Avery Russell trying to finish and swat it away as Avery Russell taking a hard hit to the ground. Here comes a pushing foul here on the Badgers. So the foul will be on Stella Bateman, her first. So at the line here is Avery Russell. And Russell puts up her shot, and that is in. Checking in is number 22, Daisy Adelman, the 5'9" freshman, or Sophia Goey. It's up and bouncing off. Rebound by Stella Bateman. Good box out by Bateman as she will head back down the floor. Life Boars, that pass was a little too underneath. And here come the Tigers off the takeaway. Here comes Levy. No foul there. They're going to say it was clean, but taken back by Levy. Puts it up and off the backboard. No foul once again. They're just letting them play. Physical contact. This game is being very physical right now here in this first half. Bateman passes it out to the top of the key. It is Blythe Boers. Blythe Boers trying to find a lane, and she can't hit the floater. And another battle for the basketball taken back here by Abby Kay. Abby Kay, the junior, really hustling up and down the floor here tonight. Gets the pass off to Ivy Levy. Pass now. Number 2, Abby Kay back to Levy. Adelman. Adelman lost the handle and taken by Ivy Martin. A little bit of a scoring drought between both teams. Here comes Blythe Boers firing off the iron. Too strong. Offensive rebound, though, by Ivy Martin. Trying to get the pass off to Moral Wonders and taken back here by the Tigers. Turnovers really killing the Lady Badgers here in this first half. Scores 12-6. Chagrin falls on top of Berkshire. Taking it from the top of the key is Abby Kay, and that is past the backboard, so they're going to say out of bounds here on Chagrin Falls. Only 18 combined points right now. Taken right back yet again. Abby Kay putting it up and getting a nice little hard-earned floater. Making it a 14-6 game, back up to 8. And it looks like they're going to draw a foul on the other end. Quick hustle down the floor on the other end. Stella Bateman back at the line. Third foul on Daisy Adelman. First one up and out for Stella Bateman. Stella Bateman only with 1 point. Nobody for Berkshire has scored more than 2 points. Ivy Martin with 2, Blythe Boers with 2. Stella Bateman and Moore Wonders with 1. Bateman misses the second free throw, so once again hustling down the floor are the Tigers. And faking the 3 there is Avery Russell. 14-6 lead for the Tigers with just under 2 minutes to go first half. Puts it up and a little too short. And they're trying to keep it in play. They're going to say she was pushed out of bounds. Looks like foul here on the floor. Called against Berkshire. That will be the first foul on Blythe Boers. They inbound the basketball. Still holding on to a strong lead. Trying to get on top by double digits for the first time tonight. And stolen away here by Stella Bateman. Here comes the push down the floor. Transition, trying to finish is Ivy Martin. And she finally gets a hard-earned bucket. As Ivy Martin down with 4 points. Making it a 14-8 game. Taking the 3 there is Abby Kay. And bouncing up and out. Hold on. I believe we're going to get another foul called here against Berkshire on the push. That will be the second foul on More Wonders. That was the last foul to give. No. I believe it might have been the last foul to give here for Berkshire. No, excuse me. That's going to be a foul here on the Tigers. So that will be on Ivy Levy. Not More Wonders. Pass here still on the way once again by Chagrin Falls. You're just really picking them apart in the turnover category. Faking the three is Levy. Levy puts it up and one. Ivy Levy gets it in and trying to connect on the three-point play. Stella Bateman going to be called with that foul. 4 points for Ivy Levy. It's up to an 8-point game with 56.6 seconds to go first half. It's up and out. 3-point play unsuccessful. Double team there by the Tigers. They force yet another turnover here on Berkshire. Taking the three is Russell, and two off to the right. And they're hustling again, getting another takeaway. This is just getting out of hand in the turnover category, in the turnover ratio. And wide open is Avery Russell, able to finish the job and making it a double-digit lead here for Chagrin Falls with just under 30 seconds to go. Here comes Blythe Boers missing a shot. Let's say it was last tipped by Chagrin Falls. So 19.8 seconds to go and 10-point lead here for Chagrin Falls. No momentum at all here for Berkshire in this first half, so a lot of adjustments need to be made in that locker room. Here comes the pass to Blythe Boers, and now Ivy Martin. Martin misses the three. Offensive rebound by Stella Bateman, who gets fouled. Stella Bateman using her height to her advantage, and looks like that will be the third foul here on Levy. 2.9 seconds to go first half. It's up and in for Bateman, who now has two. So Whitney Davis checks back in here for the Badgers. It's up. Bouncing off. Tip there, Avery Russell, hustling for that board. Under 10 seconds to shoot now for Chagrin Falls. Most likely final possession of the first half. It's now at 4 seconds here to shoot. Now at 2, she puts it up, and missing at the buzzer there was Abby Kay. But a solid shooting performance for the first half for Chagrin Falls, despite the fact that they only have 18 points, and Berkshire held to under double digits. So Berkshire going to have to draw up some solutions here quickly. But halftime here in Burton, it is Chagrin Falls 18 and Berkshire 9. You are watching Godaway Sports.
Godaway Sports is Northeast Ohio's new home for high school athletics. If you are interested in advertising with a company who is dedicated to covering our communities around the clock, then we encourage you to scan the QR code on screen or follow the link below to get your feet in on the ground floor and become a partner with Godaway. Godaway Sports, we got away. Godaway Sports is Northeast Ohio's new home for high school athletics. If you are interested in advertising with a company who is dedicated to covering our communities around the clock, then we encourage you to scan the QR code on screen or follow the link below to get your feet in on the ground floor and become a partner with Godaway. Godaway Sports, we got away. Godaway Sports is Northeast Ohio's new home for high school athletics. If you're interested in advertising with a company who is dedicated to covering our communities around the clock, then we encourage you to scan the QR code on screen or follow the link below to get your feet in on the ground floor and become a partner with Godaway. Godaway Sports, we got away. Godaway Sports is Northeast Ohio's new home for high school athletics. If you're interested in advertising with a company who is dedicated to covering our communities around the clock, then we encourage you to scan the QR code on screen or follow the link below to get your feet in on the ground floor and become a partner with Godaway. Godaway Sports, we got away.
And we are back here to start half number 2 between the Chagrin Falls Tigers and the Berkshire Lady Badgers from Burton, Ohio, here in the heart of Geauga County. Noah Richter, play-by-play announcer here on Godaway Sports, alongside our cameraman, Donald Van Horn. Donald, once again, we thank you for coming out here tonight and getting some great footage of this game. So off we go to start half number 2. Chagrin Falls with the 18-9 advantage, thanks to some stellar shooting in the first half. And here comes Abby Kay, number 2 at the left wing. Chagrin Falls winning the first meeting at home, 34-31, back on December 9th. And a good pass inside and missing the layup is Olivia Cruzy. So Berkshire trying to chip back at this deficit, and a good transition finish for Blythe Boers. So Blythe Boers making it double digits now for the Lady Badgers. You see Blythe Boers now with 4 points on the night in an 18-11 game. Just over a minute gone by here in this third quarter. Trying to force a takeaway is Mallory DeRosco. And we are going to get a jump ball going back here to it appears to be the Lady Badgers. So the Lady Badgers riding some huge momentum to start this third quarter. This is what they needed, especially after what was just, to be frank, a mediocre first half. And a takeaway here by Abby Kay, as she finds a wide open Avery Russell. Avery Russell trying to finish, and she does. She finishes in transition. First points of the second half here for the Tigers, as Avery Russell now with 8 points. Looks like we are going to get another jump ball. So Avery Russell with her 8 points. just leading the pace here for Chagrin Falls. Good passing around. Unselfish passing here tonight by Chagrin Falls. And the tip there by Abby Martin, but keeping it here is Ivy Levy. Pass inside to Levy, and Levy gets that backdoor cut. 22-11 game. And Ivy Levy, looks like they're going to count it as her first points, but looks like count on her at 4, so I'm gonna say it's 6 points here for Ivy Levy. Drawing the foul here is number 11, Julia Young. This will be the 4th foul on Ivy Levy, so one more she's done. Already in foul trouble here early in this 3rd quarter. And Julia Young gets on the board here for the first time tonight. Make it a 22-12 game. So 4 quick points there by Chagrin Falls. But Berkshire still trying to chip away. They have been trailing all night, and draining it 2 key foul shots there is Julia Young, who now has 2 points, and making it a 22-13 game. 5.5 to go, 3rd quarter. Looks like they're going to get a foul here on Berkshire's number 4, Maura Wonders, which will be her 2nd personal foul. Inbounding here is Sophia Gowie. A pass here to Abby Kay. Now Avery Russell. Back to Kay. Motioning now at the corner. Now to Avery Russell, who misses the 3. A fight for a snag away by Olivia Cruzy. The Tigers back with it on offense. Time of possession also killing the Badgers here tonight. And trying to finish there is Avery Russell. She misses. And take it back here by Ivy Martin. Ivy Martin hustling down the floor, trying to finish in transition to short of a layup. Rebound there by Olivia Cruzy. And we got a stoppage of play here on the floor. It looks like someone lost something. Not sure exactly what it is. Maybe his glasses. I believe it's Mallory DeRosco losing her glasses. Looks like she broke her glasses. So having to hustle back and probably get a new pair. She can't see without her glasses, so that is going to be a huge loss here, at least for the next few minutes for Berkshire. It's a 22-13 lead for the Lady Tigers. Tip there by Blythe Boers, but take it back by Avery Russell. Playing keep away at Goey. Back to Goey. A lot of huge separation again. At the elbow now is Adelman. Kicks it back outside to Abby Kay. Abby Kay back to Adelman. Adelman shoots and scores. A nice friendly roll of the shot by Daisy Adelman, who gets on the board for the first time tonight to make it a 24-13 lead. Back up to 11 for Chagrin Falls. Already halfway through this 3rd quarter. It was a very fast 3rd quarter right now. Here comes Blythe Boers. Berkshire starting to hit some shots, but they only have 4 points right now in this 3rd quarter to account for, compared to 6 by Chagrin Falls. Feed inside to Stella Bateman. Stella Bateman once again drawing the foul. Looks like they're going to call it a hold here on Olivia Cruzy, her 2nd personal. They're going to say the foul on the floor. So inbounding here is Julia Young. And Young inbounds it here. And once again, they're drawing contact. Another hold here on Chagrin Falls. 3 quick fouls. And that will be the 2nd foul on Abby Kay. So they inbound it to Stella Bateman. Stella Bateman finishes off the glass. 4 points for Stella Bateman. Lead down to 24-15. Berkshire keeping it with this 9-point range right now. But they haven't been able to chip in at that 9-point deficit. And here comes the pushing foul here on the Badgers. So both teams starting to foul more aggressively. Second foul here on Blythe Boers. Wide open inside, Olivia Cruzy gets a nice friendly touch off the glass to make it a 26-15 game. Looks like they're going to count it 4 points tonight for Olivia Cruzy. Blythe Boers. Both teams just picking it apart. Back and forth we go here in this third quarter. Loose ball, but picked up by Moral Wonders of the Badgers. No foul there, and taken by Abby Kay. Abby Kay finds an open Avery Russell. Great communication here by the Tigers. Well, solid unit. Only one game above 500, but they are still a very well solid unit. Here comes a 3-ball, too strong for Abby Kay, but an offensive rebound by Olivia Cruzy. 2.5 minutes to go here, third quarter. And now Avery Russell fires and hits the 3. Avery Russell now with 11 points. And largest lead of the night here for Chagrin Falls. It's at 14. 29-15 is your score. A much-needed three-pointer from their leader, Avery Russell. Berkshire in an even bigger deficit, and Stella Bateman continuing to finish down low. Make it a 29-17 game. She now has 6 points, the sophomore. But Chagrin Falls is starting to pick them apart. $11 points so far here in the third quarter, and they're going to let it go out of bounds. It touched a white jersey, so 2 subs coming in for the Badgers. Looks like that's Blythe Boers and Whitney Davis. So inbounding here is number 14, Sophia Goey, the 5'2" freshman. Good hustle there by Abby Kay as she receives the inbound pass. She's hustling everywhere around the floor here tonight. Up and down the floor she goes. Finds Avery Russell. Russell trying to avoid the travel, but she will be called for the travel. So a turnover here by Avery Russell will give the ball back here to Berkshire. Berkshire trying to get some life with 1:18 to go, third quarter of play. Here comes the pass to Whitney Davis. Whitney Davis, wild shot, too strong, very strong, and she misses as Chagrin going the other way. Pass here to Avery Russell. Fires again, too short. In the battle for the basketball, Whitney Davis keeps in the play on the rebound, but too many Tigers there as taking it away is Abby Kay trying to finish on her second chance after her first miss, but here comes the pass outside. Sophia Goey, too short. And out of bounds here on Chagrin Falls. So Chagrin Falls still has this high momentum, but the Lady Badgers try not to quit here tonight. 45.5 ticks to go in the third. Stella Bateman again. Can she finish again? No. And a battle for the basketball. Here comes the pass here. More Wonders. More Wonders gets it in. So More Wonders makes it a 29-19 game. She has 3. So Chagrin, game's not over yet. 4 quick points here by the Badgers. Now under 20 seconds. Looks like Chagrin will play for the last shot. Trying to keep it on this side of the floor is Abby Kay. Abby Kay. Pass outside of Russell. Russell fakes the 3 with 6 seconds to spare. And now it's at 4. As Avery Russell puts it up, no foul. And that will do it here for the third quarter. So another solid quarter here by the Chagrin offense. And 11 points here by Avery Russell. makes it a 29-19 Chagrin Falls lead over the Berkshire Badgers heading into the fourth and final quarter. You are watching Godaway Sports.
Godaway Sports is Northeast Ohio's new home for high school athletics. If you are interested in advertising with a company who is dedicated to covering our communities around the clock, then we encourage you to scan the QR code on screen or follow the link below to get your feet in on the ground floor and become a partner with Godaway. Godaway Sports, we got away.
Fourth and final quarter here on Godaway Sports. Noah Ricks, your play-by-play announcer here, as Berkshire Badgers trailing by as much as 14, trying to stay within it, trying to come back and trying to take home this game, but they are still trailing by 10 against the visiting Chagrin Falls Tigers, 29-19. Led by a solid performance so far from Chagrin Falls' Avery Russell, the 5'8" junior who averages just under 20 points a game. She has 11 here tonight. And just a solid game all around. A well-oiled machine tonight here for the Lady Tigers. But here come the Badgers with the basketball as we start the fourth quarter. Only 15 points into their name so far. Here comes Blythe Boers losing the basketball. Blythe Boers trying to get it back here for Berkshire, and she gets it off to Ivy Martin. So a good save there for Blythe Boers. That would have been disaster. Here comes the pass back to Ivy Martin. Ivy Martin kicks it outside, and good ball movement. Stella Bateman trying to spin around. Berkshire still alive. Blythe Boers. And it looks like we are going to get a travel violation here on the Badgers. So still a double-digit lead here for Chagrin Falls. You can definitely see the Tigers trying to slow the game down with this nice advantage. It's not very comfortable yet, but here come the Badgers off the steal. Blythe Boers puts it up. No. Rebound by Olivia Cruzy. And wide open down the floor. Here comes transition. And drawing the foul is Avery Russell on Moral Wonders. She slowed down. She hesitated, but it works to her advantage. Third foul here on Moral Wonders. And Avery Russell trying to add on to her 11-point night. And it looks like we are going to get a quick timeout here on the floor. 6:54 to go here in the fourth quarter. It is Chagrin Falls 29, Berkshire 19.
Godaway Sports is Northeast Ohio's new home for high school athletics. If you are interested in advertising with a company who is dedicated to covering our communities around the clock, then we encourage you to scan the QR code on screen or follow the link below to get your feet in on the ground floor and become a partner with Godaway. Godaway Sports, we got away.
And did I say only 15 points in their name? I meant it was 19 points in their name for Berkshire, but still not the best night offensively for this Berkshire unit. With only 19 here on the board to account for here tonight. So you gotta consider this. You gotta consider this their lowest total here this season. The lowest total here this season I'm trying to count on was 31. 31. And that was in a 42-31 loss to Crestwood back on it December 10th. But here comes foul shots here for Avery Russell. She drains the first one to make it a 30-19 game. So this is alarming here for Berkshire as she gets the second one to now make it 13. They haven't been held to below 30 all season but are in danger of that here tonight as another takeaway here for the Tigers. This is Ivy Levy. Ivy Levy gets the basketball back. The pass here to number 1, Olivia Cruzy. Cruzy tipped there and taken back by Blythe Boers. A 12-point deficit for the Badgers and swat away another takeaway, this time by Abby Kay. They are really going to have to clean their turnovers in these next few games because it has not been pretty whatsoever here tonight in that ratio. As Adeline, 2 minutes gone by here in the fourth quarter. Swinging the ball around, and here comes Avery Russell, missing the 3, but offensive rebound by Abby Kay. Yeah, it looks like they're going to call a foul here on the floor on the Badgers. Things are starting to fall apart here for Berkshire as third foul here on Julia Young. Blythe Boers going back to the bench and checking in for the first time tonight is Savannah Smith, number 21. She is a junior here for Berkshire. Time starting to run down here. Lady Badgers trying to avoid being swept by the Lady Tigers. And takeaway here by Savannah Smith. Now putting it up and drawing the foul is Ivy Martin. She'll head to the line. That is best case scenario at this point, stopping the clock. First foul of the fourth quarter here. And fouling out is Ivy Levy. Ivy Levy finishing the night with 6 points. So with 5.5 minutes to go, Ivy Levy is calling out of the basketball game on her 5th and final foul. Abby Martin puts the first one in to make it 5 points for her. So we won't be back here in Burton for another month as she misses the second one. We'll be back here on February 6th when the boys of Berkshire play host to Crestwood. And then we'll be back a day later on February 7th. Here comes Avery Russell swiveling it out. Here comes Stella Bateman. But we'll be back here on February 7th as well as these Lady Badgers play host to Garrisfield Garfield. And hitting the 3 ball is Julia Young to give Berkshire some life. Back to an 8-point game as Julia Young with 5 points here tonight. And out of bounds. Out of bounds. Things are starting to turn around here for Berkshire. It looks like a timeout called here by Coach Brittany Lasak as we will take a timeout here as well. 4:56 to go in Berkshire with some life here in the fourth quarter.
Godaway Sports is Northeast Ohio's new home for high school athletics. If you are interested in advertising with a company who is dedicated to covering our communities around the clock, then we encourage you to scan the QR code on screen or follow the link below to get your feet in on the ground floor and become a partner with Godaway. Godaway Sports, we got away.
So back here in Berkshire, cutting it back down to an 8-point game, trailing by as much as 14 here in the second half. Ever since falling behind 29-15, they have went on an 8-2 run. So this is what it's going to have to be for Berkshire, continuing this dominant stretch, continuing this strong, long run, trying to chip back at Chagrin Falls. Chagrin Falls needs to be aware of not laying their foot off the pedal just yet. Still 5 minutes to go, and Berkshire can make something happen. And the hustle here by Ivy Martin. Ivy Martin, and out of bounds. Last touch by Olivia Cruzy. So it's going to stay here on this side of the floor. Julia Young, who just hit that 3 a few moments ago, to inbound. She finds More Wonders. More Wonders bouncing off Tip there, keeping it in play is Olivia Cruzy, but take it back by Ivy Martin. Here comes Julia Young. No, but offensive rebound by Martin. And inside, Stella Bateman gets it in. 6-point game. You would have figured Berkshire not out for the count yet, but wide open here is Daisy Adelman, who misses the layup. So just in the blink of an eye, Berkshire hustling and getting the friendly falls and backcourt violation. Backcourt violation here on Savannah Smith. Huge violation and a huge turnover with 4:13 to go. 6 unanswered points here by Berkshire. But here comes Avery Russell, kicks it back outside. Sophia Goey trying to play keep away, trying to hold on to the ball as long as they can. Here comes Avery Russell hitting a 3 in. Avery Russell makes it a 34-25 game, back up to 9. And once again, they are just forcing at the turnovers. So under 4 minutes to go, Chagrin Falls trying to get closer and closer to a victory, and too high of a pass, but she was able to get it back. Cruzy. And now here comes Russell. Russell missing the 3 ball. An offensive rebound by Ivy Martin. 3.5 minutes to go now. And tip there. And this is just getting ridiculous. The turnovers just starting to pile up here for Berkshire. And here comes the put up there, no foul. Adelman kicks it back outside. Now Sophia Goey. Clock now hits 3 minutes to go in this 4th quarter. 9-point lead for the Chagrin Falls Tigers. 16 points here on the night for Avery Russell. It looks like they're going to draw another Berkshire foul. They're going to say fouls on the floor, and the 4th foul here on Julia Young. And we're going to get another timeout called here by Coach Dave Albert. A full 60-second timeout. And looks like it's getting closer and closer to disaster here for Berkshire, but they're still just within it, down 9.
Godaway Sports is Northeast Ohio's new home for high school athletics. If you are interested in advertising with a company who is dedicated to covering our communities around the clock, then we encourage you to scan the QR code on screen or follow the link below to get your feet in on the ground floor and become a partner with Godaway. Godaway Sports, we got away.
So, Berkshire trying to avoid a loss here tonight. And then we're back here 5 days from now on Wednesday night on the 14th when they play host to Wycliffe. Right now the schedule says 6:45 p.m., but it could change to varsity only, knowing the nature of girls basketball these days. So it's always best to just adjust on the fly. We won't be covering this game. Just want to give all of you viewers out there in Berkshire a fair warning about Wednesday night's game. And as for Chagrin Falls, trying to hold on tonight, and their next game will be at home on Wednesday night against Rootstown to start a 2-game road stand. And here come the Tigers with this 9-point advantage. Olivia Cruzy. Now Avery Russell, a goalie. Berkshire hustling down on the zone. Playing smart, methodical. Now here comes Olivia Cruzy. Puts it up and bouncing off. So still a sliver of hope here for Berkshire with just over 2 minutes to spare. Ivy Martin. Martin kicks it out. Here comes the shot in for Hayden Tomzik. Lead back down to 7. getting a little crazy here. It looks like Tomzik hits her first bucket of the night. 34-27. As the Chagrin Falls Tigers is playing keep away. It's what they need to do. 3-possession lead for the Tigers. Now Avery Russell. Russell. Abby Kay. Berkshire trying to force another takeaway as they're taking a lot of time off this clock. They've taken about 40 seconds off of the clock on this possession. It looks like Berkshire, they had a foul to give, so they're going to use it here. So it looks like that will be the first foul on Ivy Martin. So time running down, and looks like another foul here on Berkshire that will send them to the line. As Hayden Tomzik picks up her first and sending Avery Russell to the line with 16 points here tonight. A 3-possession deficit here for Berkshire. And with only 71 seconds left, they had to do this. Here comes the missed foul shot by Avery Russell. And Russell puts it up. 8-point game. So Avery Russell now with 17 points here tonight. With 71 seconds to go, minute 11 to be exact, here comes Julia Young to inbound. Now Tomzik off to Bateman, gets it inside here to More Wonders, who misses the shot. Good defense. And now under a minute to go as Chagrin Falls getting closer and closer to victory. They're staying inside the line, but taken away here by Julia Young. Trying to get the pass inside again and taken by Adeline. So it looks like Berkshire will not foul. And it looks like they will foul, actually, so beg your pardon. And the foul will be on Ivy Martin. Her second. So we're going to get a full 60-second timeout. 40.3 seconds to go. We'll stay here on Godaway Sports, but it's do or die time here for Berkshire. It's sliver of hope, but trying to fight to the bitter end. Only 3 losses here this year, finding ways to win, but still learning to just develop as a unit. Only 2 seniors on this roster, so that is a huge factor. But just one of the factors. Also just trying to find ways to communicate, just trying to be selfless with the basketball, scoring when you have to. Berkshire scoring 8 points so far here in this fourth quarter. Their lowest total this season was 31 points. They are just 4 points shy of that right now. But the last ride now here for Berkshire with 40.3 seconds to spare. As Ivy Martin picked up her second foul just a few moments ago and sends Russell back to the line. So the Tigers getting the ball into the hands of their best playmaker when it matters most. And she drains the first foul shot. The add-on to her total was now 18. Second one is off. No one back there for Chagrin Falls as Berkshire hustle back down the floor. And that should just about do it as another takeaway and what has been a night of takeaways here for Chagrin Falls' defense. And drawing the foul here is Stella Bateman. Stella Bateman having to pick up that foul, which is her third, stopping the clock at 24.5 seconds. That sends Olivia Cruzy to the line with 4 on the night for her. Shots up and shots in. Now making 5 for Cruzy and a 10-point lead. Nobody back there again for Chagrin Falls, and that is off. So here comes the shot here by Savannah Smithy. She drains it in. She drains it in and making it 37-30 with 13.3 seconds to go. First points of the night for Savannah Smith. But another quick foul having to, no, timeout called on the floor. It appeared to be a timeout as they were huddling around the bench, but yes, it is another foul here on Berkshire. So I was right the first time. The third foul on Blythe Boers, and that will send Sophia Agoe to the line, the freshman. And the first shot's off. So 13.3 seconds. Berkshire still down by 3 possessions. Probably too little too late for Savannah Smith. She misses the second one. Here comes the push down the floor with under 10 seconds. And here comes the 3 ball. It's up and off for number 2 for the Badgers. And here comes Ivy Martin. Can't hit the 3, and that will do it here. The shot won't count. Looks like she didn't get it off, and that will do it here. So your final score here tonight, it is the Chagrin Falls Tigers 37 and the Berkshire Lady Badgers 30. Great shooting all around by Chagrin Falls. Well-oiled machine, forcing turnovers, tons and tons of them. And Berkshire just really flustered by that well-oiled machine by Chagrin Falls, who was led by 18 points from Avery Russell, the junior. And Berkshire will have the rebound. They dropped to 10-4. They'll try to rebound on Wednesday night when they play host to Wycliffe here. But Chagrin Falls, they earned this season sweep, and they improved to 8-6 with the hard-earned victory. So kudos to them, and we wish them the best of luck in the remainder of this 2025-26 season. So, for myself and my cameraman, Donald Van Horn, this is Noah Ricks, your play-by-play announcer, signing off. Final score, Chagrin Falls 37 and Berkshire 30. This has been a presentation of Godaway Sports.
Godaway Sports and City View Sportscast thanks you for watching this presentation of high school athletics. For more coverage of your local teams, stay tuned to Godaway. Godaway Sports, we got away.